Marcel, what is up?
Yo, not so much.
It
I'm
is.
looking
You're
I'm looking
looking.
forward the whole day to talk with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's why I didn't want to tell you 3 weeks in advance because I didn't want to like clutter your mind. So I just wanted
Yeah.
to tell you like a sort of a day, give you just one day, just so I don't take too much
Yeah.
of your
If
mental space.
if if I would have had a bit more notice in advance, I would have gone to the hairdresser and stuff like this. Yeah. But
Not
yeah.
true. You should go to the hairdresser, but it's fine. We'll make it work. We'll make it work for this time around. But
Yeah.
Marcel, I sort of know you, but a lot of people might not know who you are. A lot of people around the world, even though you've been around the world. But for those that don't follow you on the social media or have encountered you in some airport or in person, tell us a little bit, if you can, about yourself. Who is Marcel? Where did he come out of? And how did he evolve?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Marcel Glaser. I'm born in Austria, in a pretty small town in Austria.
How small?
Um, well, my town directly where I grew up is just like I think 2,000 people, but we are directly next to a bigger town for Austria already quite big. It's around 40,000.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
so and that was like directly next to me, and I went to school in this city, 40,000 city. Yeah. So unfortunately, this town is yeah, we there's
Does the town have a
no
name?
yeah, St. Ulrich by Steyr. Um, so the town where I'm from is St. Ulrich, and it's called by Steyr because we're next to Steyr. Steyr is quite famous. I don't know. I don't even know what they do. There's Steyr trucks like Traktoren. I don't know
Yeah,
trucks.
yeah, trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the farmer trucks, and we have a lot of stuff. What people are doing there. Yeah. Um, but the not so good thing for me about Steyr is we don't have real great mountains super close to us, like for skiing and snowboarding.
Okay.
So when I grew up, we had one T-bar lift just above like a few hundred meters uphill. But at this time, we had some snow sometimes over the winter, so we could sometimes ski there. But otherwise, we had to drive like 1 hour to get like good skiing. And the same for lakes. No, the closest lake is probably Traunsee,
Yeah.
what is around 1 hour away. So for as a kite surfer and skier, snowboarder, not the best, but still everything in like 1 2 hours reachable. So
So
not too bad.
so you were born in this small town. You went to school
Yeah.
in this slightly bigger small town. And
Yeah.
why are the mountains and why are lakes like important to you? Like, did you come out of the womb and you're like, I need to do sports. I need a mountain. I need a lake. Like, what
Mm.
happened here? Like, I think you skipped over some details, maybe.
No. Yeah, no, no, sure. So I got pretty lucky with my parents because my father he started snowboarding when, yeah, I think before I was born. What I know, he there was not many snowboarders in Austria yet, and he started snowboarding, and the same with windsurfing. I think he built his first windsurf boards himself. So I got lucky, of course, because as soon as I could walk, he taught me how to ski. I think I tried first time skiing at the age of 3. And just a year later, or latest 2 years later, I tried snowboarding for the first time. What I know is that he built myself a snowboard because there was no kids board available at this time, because that was probably 1990, 1991, something like this.
Yeah.
Um, And yeah, and directly after, yeah, let's say when I was 6, 7 or something, I almost stopped with skiing and I just continued with snowboarding. And we've been lucky that we went almost every weekend in winter time snowboarding. We did every winter, like mostly like 2 weeks somewhere, a ski holiday.
Okay.
And yeah, so I did my whole winter snowboarding, even also competing a little bit snowboarding at the age of, I guess, first race has been age of 8 or 9. But at this time it was so early, the beginning of snowboarding, not too many kids. So I remember there have been some snowboard races where we've been 2, 3, 4 people competing in
Yeah.
my class and the kids class. So I won quite often because there was not much competition.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and the same for me then in summertime. We always been to lakes. At the beginning, we went quite often to Lake Traunsee because there's like a from Steyr a windsurf club. So a lot of people from Steyr drive there every weekend
Yeah.
because it's just 1 hour away and been windsurfing. So I started windsurfing at the age of 6 or 7, something like this. Um, I remember when I've been young, I didn't like it so much windsurfing. I always loved snowboarding, and I always wanted to go snowboarding, snowboarding, snowboarding. Winter, I loved winter, and windsurfing was, yeah, it's okay. But I think I really started enjoying windsurfing somewhere around the age of 10, 11, something like this. I think I went with my parents to Lake Garda in Italy.
Yeah.
And what I remember is I met 2 guys. They've been maybe 1, 2 years older than me, and they've been pretty good windsurfers already. So I could go up and down, riding, I think a little bit in the harness and the foot straps, so planning, but still not no chipes and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've been really good already, so they inspired me, and I think that's when I started to like it, and yeah, I try to windsurf then as much as
So
possible.
so was your like your growing up childhood, because now you're saying a lot about sports. Was your growing up childhood like a normal childhood? And how did that sort of go? Like, or was it that school back then was like you go to school, you go home, and then you do your own thing?
School? What? No. Yeah, no, of course, normal school.
Ah, okay.
Um,
So
so
you did your
I
normal
went in the,
school, you're practicing sports, young.
yeah, yeah. So during the week, just normal school.
Yeah.
But luckily, every weekend almost we went to the mountains or to the lakes.
Gotcha.
Um, so, but during the week, I've been just I went from the like grade 5 to 8.
Yeah.
Um, I went to a special sports school, but that was not really my thing because it was not really my sports. What they did, it was like
Yeah.
running and yeah, I played basketball in school. I even played in a team for like 2 years or something. We did some competition, school competition as well.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, we had a few really good players and that's why we won often. But I was just a medium basketball player, and that's it. And
They
it
just
was not
they
like,
needed another member, so they're like, "Hey, would you
no,
want to join?"
I've been playing okay, but and I've been tall, or like, yeah, not the shortest. I'm now, I
Yeah.
think, 187 centimeter. So I've been in school already like m- at the taller people,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it was like,
So did you end up finishing school? Did you go through it with it? Like you finished till 12th grade or whatever the
no, no,
system
no. In
was?
so in Austria, we have to do just I think 8 years of school. And so I would say I'm a bit, I would call myself unique, because I think I can't tell you now exactly, but at the age of 10 to 12 years, I
Yeah.
knew pretty much how my life should be. Uh,
What does that
I
mean?
I know what I want to do in life, and I know what I want to become, and I know what my plans are in life. Yeah.
Because the school
And
told you this, or
no,
where
no,
did
no,
you come
no,
up with
no,
this
just
idea?
I don't know. This came up in my head.
And what was the idea?
Um, so in summertime, I've been a lot to Fuerteventura.
Yeah.
That's the one of the Canarian Islands for windsurfing. Of
Hmm.
course, one of the windiest places in Europe in summer, almost every day, like 40 knots, 50 knots, something like this. So I saw all these surfer dudes with dreadlocks in their Volkswagen buses, having a chilled life. And I wanted to do exactly the same. I think with 10, 11, I told myself, yeah, I want to get dreadlocks. I want to have a van with a bed inside, and I want to live on the beach and do whatever I love.
Yeah. And so that was it.
So
Like you started growing the dreads at that time. When did you start getting dreads? That age right there? 12?
um, no, I got dreads when I was 13. I had dreadlocks from 13 to 30, 17 years long. Yeah.
The same dreads. Like you never cut them.
No, no, of course I cut them. So I had them always like pretty much shoulder length, a little bit shorter than shoulder length.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't like long dreadlocks. And I would say I had like clean dreadlocks and stuff. And I didn't really live the lifestyle like most people with dreads live.
Exactly. That's what I was
A
gonna
little
wonder.
bit
I was
like
like, did
uh,
what did the philosophy behind the dreads mean to you?
I like the style. That's the only reason I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only thing. Yeah. So that means I knew at school already pretty early that I don't want to go to school for too long. I don't want to study. I don't want to waste my time. I want to live my life. So I went 9 years to school. That was what I had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So you
after
went till ninth
this,
grade.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's when you can stop. I think you can stop after the 8 if you do like a preschool or whatever, but
Yeah.
ninth grade is the normal thing, yeah. And then you choose another school after this, or like
Okay.
normally after the eighth grade, you choose another school or you do one more year. But me, I would have preferred to go and work as a windsurf instructor or snowboard instructor already. But of course, my dad said, no, after the ninth grade, I've been like 15 or so. I have to do something else. So I don't know the right word in English now. Um, so I started a job. It was like 3.5 years long.
Yeah. I like an
I worked.
apprenticeship, internship.
No, no,
That maybe
it's
the
it's.
word.
I really don't know the word. It's called in German, it's a Ausbildung. So I worked as a technical drawer. So I've been drawing plans and stuff. I worked in a glass company for 3.5 years, and I worked normally 4 days a week, and one day a week I went to school. Uh,
Apprenticeship.
uh,
Did I not say that? I didn't say apprenticeship.
yeah,
Yeah, it's an
yeah,
apprenticeship.
maybe,
Oh, okay.
maybe. So it is work plus school. Uh,
Yeah.
so some people have it like this. They work the whole year, and then 2 months long, or I think 8 weeks or something, they have school. But in my job, it was like this. So you work 4 days, and one day is school. And I think 1 year long, I worked 3 days and 2 days school. Uh,
Gotcha.
um,
So you could
so it
build
was as a
plans. Did you ever use
uh,
that skill after that or no?
Oh, no, no, no. So
Oh,
so
okay.
I was drawing on um, how to CAD. I've done
AutoCAD.
plans for,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I've done plans for our factory. So we've been producing glass for houses and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I've done this job that there's something what I like, that I do something, that I grow a
Yeah.
bit older, that I have something, that everyone is happy. And so that took 3.5 years. And I think I even told my boss at this time directly, like in the first week or something, when I started my job. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I will stay till this is finished. And
And I
most people
quit.
do this 3.5 years, and then they are like official technical drawer, and then they continue working in this company.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I told them, yeah, I will finish this 3.5 years, and then I will leave and do something else. And that's exactly what I've done. So I worked 3.5 years there, in my city, that in Steyr, so like 10 minutes away from my parents' house where I
Yeah.
lived. So I worked there from 15 till end of 18, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and as soon as I was done, I quit my job. In between this, I think with 16, I made my windsurf instructor license. With 17, I made my snowboard instructor license. So I quit my job with 18, and I went to Greece for 5 months as a windsurf instructor.
After the 18.
After the 18, after I finished my job.
Gotcha. All right. So
Yeah.
then would you say after this, after you finish your job, which is essentially finishing
Yeah.
school, now I know what your system you're saying. It's like you do
Yeah.
school and then you do a specialization. It could be
Yeah.
technical, it could be whatever it is. Yeah, that's common. I think it's actually maybe a better system than today. But in any case, is that where things begun for you? Is that where life
Well,
began?
that's where my life started, pretty much. Exactly. That was in 2005. Like in May 2005, I went to it's a small island in Greece, Karpathos. It's really famous for windsurfing,
Okay.
because also there over the summer usually you have 40 to 50 knots. So really small windsurf sails. Like I've been using mostly 3.7 to 4.2 square meter with really small boards. Yeah, and that was so I did my first season there, 5 months long. I went with my car there. I had a pretty yeah,
You
crazy
had the
setup.
VW.
Of course, I had the VW van with my bed inside. In my first year, I had a trailer in the back with a quad bike on it as well. So that's how I went to Greece by myself with 18. Um, the first thing my boss, when I arrived, was like, "What the hell? You come with a VW T4 and with
Yeah.
a quad on the trailer?" So I had to unload my quad, and he had a quad as well. So the first thing we did was a quad race, because yeah,
That's what you
he's a
do.
guy like me. He wants to have the fastest and the best in this. But yeah, unfortunately, he lost, and he was a bit disappointed. But yeah, no, that was. Yeah, that was when everything started.
And then what happens from there? Like sort of you sort of ditched what you
Yeah,
learned in
so
school and then you got into working. You're working. And what happened? Like what how did it all play out?
yeah, so I've done then from 2005 on, I worked as a windsurf instructor in summer, because I have to say it was not really an instructor. I didn't give many lessons because I've been at a spot where it's just for really experienced windsurfers. So I
Yeah.
had some advanced private lessons. Like I did some lessons like power jibe, duck jibe, air jibe, stuff like this, water start lessons. But that's pretty much it. And the rest was just working at the windsurf school, helping people with getting the right sail, getting the right board. I did a lot of rescues. I was mostly in charge for the rescues. So we had a motorboat with a 50 horsepower engine. So with 45, 50 knots offshore wind, it can be quite dangerous if, in these conditions, a mast breaks quite easy and stuff like this.
Sure,
So
sure.
I was in charge to look out that in the bay, everything is fine. And as soon as something happens, I had to rescue them. Um, yeah, so this I did over the summer, and then in winter time I worked as a snowboard instructor in Austria. Uh,
And for how long did this all go on? Like has your life been primarily because I'm sort of skipping because I know you a little bit, but has your life
Yeah.
been like, has that been for many years? Did you do that? Like windsurfing
That
one season, snowboarding another season?
yeah. That's been for many years. So I've been 5 years long in Greece as a windsurf instructor.
Yeah.
So 5 summer longs. I've been in between winter and summer, like 3 times in or 4 times in Egypt as a kite surf instructor. Then, I've worked as a windsurf instructor from 2005 to 2010.
Yeah.
I tried my first time kite surfing. I bought a kite with my father together. I don't know, in 2001 or something like this.
Okay.
We had no idea about kiting. We tried it always in much too light wind. We didn't even know how to connect the lines. So I could ride then a little bit up and down, but it wasn't really. I wasn't like stoked about it and this. So I continued windsurfing. And then I think my father bought the first bow kite in 2006 or 2007, and I tried it again, and I know that was in 2007, and I'm like, wow, okay, now you have a D power. The kites are not super slow. You can relaunch them. So I got hooked a little bit more, and I made my kitesurf instructor license beginning of 2008. And
Was that
then
IKO back in the day, or was it another one?
no, I started with doing uh,
VWS.
VWS.
Yeah.
No, not VDWS. I did the Austrian one. And then after 2 years or something, I did an upgrade to the German one.
Okay.
Because the Austrian one I could do in Austria on the lake. And the
Yeah.
German one at this time, it was not available in Austria. And 2 years later, I did the upgrade to the VDWS. What is really similar to IKO. Both have
Yeah.
like some upside and downside, a lot of downsides. Yeah. But yeah, that was good. So I worked from 2008 on in between Greece, in Egypt as a kitesurf instructor until the snow starts coming to Austria, and then as a snowboard instructor. And after a few years, I got the position as like head snowboard instructor. So I was pretty much like managing the snowboard school. I didn't teach that much anymore. I had around, depends on the season, always high season, up to 20 snowboard instructors who I did all the planning for them. I choose which students they get and stuff like this.
And did you enjoy
So I,
this? Was it like fun?
but now I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Did you enjoy this? Was it like fun? Like how did, because it's completely
Oh
different than
yeah.
what you were doing in school, right? So
No, sure. Yeah.
how did you find out that you liked this?
No, no, this was I really like this because I think I'm okay with organization and stuff like this.
Mhm.
So I really like to um, yeah, to show the instructors what they have to do. We did like weekly trainings of the instructors. um, I did still some lessons, but just some really advanced lessons. I've been riding with snowboarders who ride since like 10 years. I've been riding free riding off piste. I did a little bit of freestyle with them, but I'm myself not a really good snowboard freestyler. I've
Yeah.
been never really into this. I didn't like so much park riding. I prefer to go like in fresh powder. So we did, yeah, with all my students, as soon as there was a little bit powder, I've been riding um, off piste and yeah,
And how did you like with getting into the business of managing people and sort of
yeah,
like running a business, how did you
yeah.
learn that? Like, did you learn it just because of experience, or did like
Um,
one guy that you worked for teach you well?
I think I learned a lot in Greece,
Yeah.
in Carpathos, thanks to Chris Shell. That was my boss. The school was called Pro Center Chris Shell. It was really famous and was until I think he sold it 2 years ago. Was one of the biggest windsurf schools. And in these 5 years, I have to say I think I learned a lot from him
Yeah.
and
What were some of
like managing.
his main teachings that you can maybe remember off the top of your head that are PG 13?
Oh, Well, I really don't know, but you really, so I had a really good relationship with him, and many people don't, or like quite a few instructors who worked for him because
Yeah.
they say he was too strict and this. But that's exactly, I think, what I took over from him a little bit. You have to be strict, and because it doesn't matter which job it is, if you work as a windsurf instructor, snowboard instructor, whatever. A lot of people think it's like, yeah, you can just chill, come down to work and do nothing, but
Hmm.
it's a job as everything else, and people are paying a lot of money for that you teach them something, and so you should be really put a lot of effort in, and so I think I learned a lot from this, and that's why it started as managing a snowboard school, and then in 2014 I got an offer to manage a kite school in Zanzibar, Africa,
Ah, okay.
or was it 2013 or whatever? But let me think. Yeah, no, I think 2014. No idea. 2013. Yeah, in Zanzibar. So I took the job offer, and after
How
the
did you meet
winter,
those
I
guys?
just online through a friend of mine,
Ah, okay.
a pro windsurfer from Austria. He one a really good friend of mine. He know them personally, and he came to me and said, "Hey, they're looking for someone. They're building a luxury hotel in Zanzibar and want to do a kite school there. So I should talk with them and this."
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and we talked a little bit just online, because they're originally from Poland, live in France. So yeah, and we said, okay, I will go to Zanzibar for one season. The season there is always really short, just 3 months, but it has two seasons a year, so 3 months in summer and 3 months in winter.
Yeah.
And my first season was the winter season in Zanzibar, so European summer, so from June till September. um, I went there, I checked the spot out, I checked the school out. It was a really small school at this time. I had two instructors working for me, one beach boy. We had around 15 kites, um, but it was running well. The hotel just opened. It's a really high class hotel. Our hotel, um, now the price range is around 1,000 to $4,000 a month.
A month or a night?
Lucky, sorry, a night,
Yeah.
$1,000 to $4,000 a night. Everyone has his private villa with his private pool, a butler, so pretty high class.
Yeah.
But luckily, it's always fully booked, and a lot of clients coming there. And so after the 3 months, I decided that I liked this place. I talked with the owners. I made a good deal with them,
Yeah.
and that's what I've done now in the last 6 years. So I've been 6 years in Zanzibar. I've done 12 seasons there, or 11, I don't know, yeah, something like this, 11
Yeah.
seasons. The kite school grow extremely. I have now, or had now, in high season, usually 8 instructors, teaching 7 to 9 hours a day, around 100 kites, 50 boards, a lot of rentals.
Yeah.
So we became, I think we are the biggest school, like kite wise and stuff, in Zanzibar, and yeah, business been running
Was
really
was
well.
was kiteboarding a thing in Zanzibar that many years ago? 6 years ago? It was already a thing.
Yeah, so it was already a thing. I think there've been. I'm in the village of Paje. That's probably the most famous village in Zanzibar for kite surfing.
Yeah.
There've been four kite school at this time. The
Ah, okay.
first kite school, I think, opened in 2009, something like this.
Ah,
So
okay.
quite a few years before. Um, but still, it was not. There was like 30 kiters on the
Yeah.
water, maybe 40 kiters on a good day. Now in Paje, I don't know exactly. There are around 20 kite schools. On a good day, there are at least 200 kiters on the water.
Crazy.
So it's been growing like insane. Every year you could see new schools opening, new hotels opening, new restaurants opening,
Yeah.
and more people. Every season I needed one instructor more. I had to order 10 kites more. Um, well, can't complain, of
Yeah.
course, but it got really, really busy. But still, the good thing about Zanzibar is you have a huge lagoon. It has a really big tide difference, so the
Yeah.
tide varies about like 4 meters. So at low tide, you have to walk out in front of my school around 700 meters till you reach the water, and then you have like from ankle deep to knee, maybe hip deep water. And at high tide, the water is till the school and can be like 3 4 meters deep. So you have all kind of conditions. You have a reef out there, but so you find a lot of space. And even if there are 200 kiters in whole Zanzibar on the water, it's a little bit like Cabarete. There's so much space.
Yeah.
If you want, you always find space where you're completely by yourself. And
Is
yeah,
200 people more than what's in Cabarete on a windy day? My reference is a bit off.
I think it's maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess in Cabarete in the last years, what I've seen, I would say Kite Beach with Cabarete Bay is around 150 kites.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there's a day with 200, but I think more like on a really good day, I think
Exactly.
150. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm. And with that tide difference, is that every day, 2 times a day that it's changing like
yeah,
that?
exactly, exactly.
Oh, wow.
So it's really tricky to, as a school, for me to do my job is pretty tricky because
Yeah.
you can't say, yeah, like pass by tomorrow and we see when the wind comes and how it looks, and then we go out. We really
Yeah.
have to plan. Depends on the level. So if it's a beginner and tries his first water start, you want to have perfect conditions. Let's say knee to hip deep water.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do it at high tide, so you have a short window to do this lesson. So let's say low tide is in the morning, so you have a window. Let's say maybe from 9 to 11.
Yeah.
So we have to hope that there's wind at this time already. Luckily in Zanzibar, the wind is pretty consistent, and in our season, almost every day, but pretty light wind. But no problem for us. We have big kites, big boards, especially long lines, so we can do lessons in 10 knots, from 10 knots on. But the average wind is more like in summertime, like 13 to 16 knots, and in wintertime, 16 to 20 knots, something like this.
And because a lot of people might not understand much about kiteboarding, but let's just say from like the using, like, how did you come up with the logic of like organizing around that? Like, we should put these people during this low tide and this and that. Like, did you learn that somewhere? You thought about it, and just in general, like with all these sort of,
No,
because now you're managing a big
um,
school, lots of equipment, all these things. So how did
yeah.
you
So
learn how
it,
to
yeah,
decide things?
I learned every season, of course, more and more. And it
Yeah,
was good that at the beginning it was less busy. So I had two instructors who had maybe 1 to 2 clients each. So we
yeah,
had just like 2 or 4 hours of lesson an instructor. So we could really check when the conditions are right in this. Now this is not possible anymore. So in my school, like the instructors are working much more than in an average school, I would say, because we teach really when the wind and the conditions are okay. We do 7, 8, some days over 9 hours of lesson, but we have just like wind for 9 hours. Yeah,
yeah,
so we
yeah.
use every single. So my instructors, they have sometimes 10 minutes break in between 9 hours of lessons. A lot of instructors can't handle this, but I have a pretty good main team who comes every season or every year, and they know they really have to work hard, but
Yeah, but they also get compensated for it.
they get paid in a commission base, so they make good money in this time. So they work
Yeah.
3 months full power every single day, no days off and stuff like this. Except there's no wind, but otherwise full power, but just 3 months, and then they can chill for 3 months again.
So to recap some stuff, just because I'm taking notes here and I'm thinking about some things. So basically, you did your school, you got into water sports because your dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you did the specialization that you had to do mandatory. And then while you were in Fuerteventura, you saw guys with dreadlocks and VW wagons, and you're like, this is the good life. This is the life I want.
Exactly.
And what was like the meaning, if there even was one, behind dreadlocks? Like what? It was just the style.
Yeah, I really would say so. I know that most people who has dreadlocks have a meaning behind it.
Yeah.
For me, it was just a style because, you know, I guess 98% of the people who has dreadlocks smoke weed and stuff like this. I guess I've been the
98%.
only person who, yeah, that was nicely said. So when I was younger and I went to a party, at least 2 to 3 times a night, people came up to me and asked me for weed, asked me for papers to roll a joint and stuff like this. But
Yeah.
I've been probably the only guy with dreadlocks who didn't smoke weed, and also I don't drink alcohol. So
Yeah.
really, my dreads been just for I like the style and I
Pure
wanted to get
pure
them. And
style. Like getting a
exactly,
poodle, just pure style. I like it.
exactly, exactly.
Uh, what is the reason behind not drinking? I know you don't drink, but was there a reason? It
No, there's also no
it
reason.
wasn't a health thing. No.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I think you know me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not the healthiest person. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take drugs. But food-wise, I'm maybe not the healthiest.
Yeah.
But drinking, so I started going out with my friends in my hometown when at the age of 15 probably.
Yeah.
And I remember that of course, everyone been drinking. So I went out to the bar and bought at this time they had Bacardi Breezer and stuff like this. So I bought one a night and I tried it. And so each night I bought one of them. And because everyone been drinking, I can say, yeah, I had my drink, but I never liked it and this. And I think
Yeah.
after a few times going out, I'm like, why should I do this? I
Yeah.
don't have
Sure.
to drink because my friends are doing it. And the same with smoking. I'm not a person who is doing stuff just because other people are doing it.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the taste, and that's why I've never been drunk in my life. And yeah.
And do you think, like, has that ever been a social dilemma in a way where, like, is that always a conversation when someone's like, hey, cheers? And then you're like, with your water glass, so like, yeah, why don't you get some wine? Why don't you get a champagne?
Um,
Like New Year's, where's your bottle of champagne? Why aren't you
so
popping a bottle? Or you're with the apple
yeah,
cider.
yeah. Um, so especially in my job as a snowboard instructor, there especially also windsurf instructor, but especially in winter as snowboard instructor. In winter, après ski in Austria is huge. So people start partying at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. in the afternoon and party the whole night. So
Yeah.
of course I got invited every single day from students.
Yeah.
And if I told them like I'm not drinking, they're like, what's going on? But because I told them from the beginning on I'm not drinking and I never took a sip with them or something, they respect it and understand it. I
Yeah.
know that if you drink once with them and then you say no, I'm not drinking, it's not possible. But if
Yeah.
you tell them from the beginning on, but I hear this quite often, like, what's wrong with you? You're
Yeah.
weird. Why is this? In my opinion, that is weird. That people think I'm weird because I'm not drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
It's
should
like
be the other side around.
uh-huh.
But and I had wow, I
Why do you think
remember
that is?
yeah,
Why
because
is it
it's
that
so
people are like, why aren't you joining us? Why aren't you smoking? Why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you doing these things? Why aren't you jumping off the
Yeah,
bridge with us?
yeah, exactly. Because I'm stronger than this,
So
and
do you think people who
I
drink and who smoke are weaker, or what is the logic behind that?
I I s- I I think that a lot of people start because of this. Because you have maybe a 1 year older friend or something who is
Hmm.
drinking already, and then say, "Hey, look, I have a beer, take one."
Yeah.
If And the same with smoking, it was the same. Of course, I tried some cigarettes and this, but I never liked the taste, so I never did it.
Hmm.
But I had so many friends who been just smoking because other people done it because it's cool. Or
Yeah.
after school, I go behind the bushes and smoke a cigarette. What is stupid in my opinion? But that's definitely a lot of people start drinking and smoking and even taking drugs because of this. But of course, on the other side, a lot of people, like I see it with my parents, they love their wine. My father drinks his wine almost every day or something. Um, and I understand when people like to have a drink for dinner and this,
Yeah.
but it's also okay without. And I think it helped me a lot in my life, not drinking, because I could party every single night and still be pretty fit on the next day.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for many, many years. Like winter season, I went out for every night. And um,
So you really
second
just
thing
enjoy the
is,
music and the atmosphere.
yeah,
But
that was,
when people get really lit up though, and they're around you, does that bother you at all, or are you
of
like,
course,
hey, like you're this guy's like too
there.
wild?
So what I know, you're not drinking as well since
Yeah, many
a
years.
few years now.
Yeah,
So I guess you know these things. Mostly, if there's good music, good company, a few girls and stuff, it's okay to go out. But some nights where it's a shitty place and people get really drunk and
yeah,
think they're funny in this, and you're not drinking, and you think it's not funny, and then you get bored of it. And but
yeah,
for me, then I just go home. Yeah, that's easy. But I had definitely a few nights where everyone been so drunk and did stuff where I'm like, that's so stupid. And you just do this now because you're drunk, and that's
yeah,
not my thing. But as
yeah.
soon as there's good music and good people and stuff like this, I don't
And
need
it's
to
fine.
drink. Yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. Yeah,
And because I'm also thinking about it, you're like, the smoking, the drinking is not healthy, but then I'm also like, if you don't eat healthy, then it's also the same thing in a way, right? So
of course,
everyone has their thing.
of course. That's not a like I everyone
It's
who knows me
impossible to be
knows.
perfect. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's better to um, not drink, not smoke, and eat unhealthy than drink, smoke, and eat unhealthy. Yeah. So
for
at
sure.
least I do
Yeah.
just one thing, and I don't think, yeah, alcohol and smoking is good
Because
for
yeah,
someone, but I'm not doing it because of the health wise.
yeah,
Because if
yeah,
it would be because of this, I would have to start changing my
your diet.
food
Yeah,
and
exactly.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
because like in the forget if it's the seven or the nine circles of hell from Inferno Dante. But anyways, basically one of the levels is gluttony, which is like eating. He doesn't mention, I think, smoking and drinking, but I don't know if that falls under that category.
Yeah.
But it is with eating. But in any
Yeah.
case, no, because that's interesting, and especially that you're in businesses that from what I've heard with snowboarding, like people are always like the clients, they always just offer you a drink, a
Of
dinner,
course,
or
of
whatever,
course.
and the most common things to drink,
I
like, hey, you want a beer? Hey, you want a shot? And
I think I could have drank the whole winter for free because
yeah,
I would have been invited like 80% of the time.
yeah,
But yeah, that makes, yeah, I didn't do it. And I also, I think I've been the only snowboard ski instructor who've been not drinking.
in the world.
Um, yeah, at least in the places where I've been, and the same as windsurf instructors and kitesurf instructors. Yeah, there are not many out there, at least.
No, it's very few.
Uh,
It's especially nowadays. And with
uh,
all this, like from when you left school, how did you sort of fund yourself? Because now, like you do your own businesses and all this stuff, but how did you sort of get started with that? Like, you when you did your internship, you don't get paid because it's for school. So it's free
no, no,
internship,
no, no. This 3.5 years you get paid,
but
but
very
you get
little.
paid pretty little at the
Yeah.
beginning. Every year it's getting more. and at the end I got paid around 1,000 euros when I was 18,
A month.
and a month, yeah, a month.
Oh, okay.
So I think with 17 I got already 1,000 euros a month, and I've been living at my parents' place. So with 1,000 euro a month, you
And you
can
don't
live
drink
pretty
and you
good,
don't
yeah.
smoke.
Exactly, exactly.
So
So
were
I
you
spend it
saving the money,
for.
or would you spend it on a VW
I've been,
wagon and
I've
a?
been exactly, yeah. I've been saving my money, but it went into my VW, my quads, and my windsurf equipment and snowboards and stuff like this.
But like
But
all your
I,
traveling and then everything from 18 on was sort of
yeah,
independent, would you say, or how
yeah,
did that go down?
yeah, everything independent. I'm pretty good with saving money and with not spending if I don't have to. So all my traveling, I'm also, I would say I've been pretty good with I buy stuff, use it a little bit, and sell it again for
Mhm.
maybe even more than I bought it for.
Oh,
So
really?
um, so um, I made all my travels in this with this,
Yeah.
and mostly I've been traveling the first years, always traveling and working, um, and then it went a bit in the opposite direction, more traveling, less working. Uh,
But still making.
but still making money somehow,
Yeah.
and that I can afford traveling. And like in the last 6 years or something, with Zanzibar, so I had 3 months of work and then 3 months off, three
Yeah.
months of work again, and 3 months off. So I've been working every single day. I would say I have in Zanzibar, I have a 70-hour week. I've been from the morning till the evening every day at the school.
Yeah.
So I work I would say in 6 months almost this what people work
In a
in the
year.
whole year, because
Exactly. Yeah.
we work, yeah, exactly. I work 90 days in a row without the day off, and then I could afford to travel 3 months afterwards.
Yeah. And that's always been pretty much the setup, right? Like with your teaching life seasons. So you have your time
Yeah,
off,
sure.
time on.
So it exactly that was always like this, and then I started to save money, of course, and not just spending everything for traveling. I would always say like I try to save half of the money I make, and the other second half I spend for traveling. Um, and and yeah, that's
And where
how.
did you learn that? Why did you decide to budget yourself? Why don't you just blow it all, whatever you made? Why not?
I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, like
Yeah, because
why, what made you think about that?
but
Like what were
like
you saving
I, I,
towards?
I oh, so this is the things what I think I knew when I was what I told you like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
So my life goal been always like
The
living
dreadlocks we checked off. The VW we
yeah,
checked off. I forgot what you said, the third one.
yeah,
I don't know if it was traveling,
uh,
like doing water sports all day
yeah, like not traveling and living
in a
somewhere at the
truck.
ocean. Yeah.
Ah, okay, so we're near
So
the ocean.
in the truck before, but of course I wanted a house somewhere close to the ocean where I can kite surf and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So luckily 2.5 years ago I bought my first apartment in Cabarete.
Mm-hmm.
Then 1 year ago I bought my second apartment in Cabarete.
Life is good.
Yeah, so yeah, can't complain. I started my new business like just beginning of this year, just before Corona started. So because I bought 2 apartments here, what I rent out as well when I'm not here. I've been into real estate a little bit, and I met my partner, Julia, and so we decided to take over a real estate company,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm doing for the moment. I'm now in Cabarete since February, the longest time since
Ever.
I can remember without traveling. and it looks like I will stay quite a few more months now with the situation right now.
Yeah.
And I'm doing real estate. We sell apartments, villas, land,
Hey, is this
and
an
stuff like
infomercial?
this.
What's going on? Is this an infomercial?
Um, yeah,
Is there a website?
the website link will be in here now. Yeah, um, it's called Cabarete Real Estate. No, but it was of course a little bit. So I took the company over January, February 2020. Pandemic started, I would say, in March, COVID.
Like the lockdown started,
The
but the situation
lockdowns,
was known around
like
February.
stuff
Yeah.
like this, exactly. So in May or something, I thought, oh my God, worst timing ever.
Yeah.
Why did I do this? No one is traveling, no one is buying anything. Now I have to say, can't complain.
Yeah.
People are looking for real estate in the Dominican Republic. I can understand. I did myself. I can just everyone recommend it. I'm pretty busy with work. Lots of clients. We're selling some stuff. So for the moment, everything good. Even if I can't go to Zanzibar at the moment,
Yeah.
I could go. It would be possible. It makes not so much sense because they're not. We have mostly European guests there, and Europeans are not traveling too much at the moment, especially
Yeah.
now with like a second wave or whatever. So I'm staying here, and life is good.
And this is sort of taking a couple, this is sort of taking one step back, well, two steps back in a way, just to wrap, like to bring it back to something that I think we might have skipped over, like even though you don't know what I have here, but we skipped
Yeah.
over. So you love the dreads, but you cut them. Like, why did you cut them?
You always come back to the dreads.
Why did you
Yeah,
cut
but
them? Because obviously you
I
don't have
have
dreads on right now.
I have to say the dreads been a really big part in my life. Like not for me and this. Like I had them for 17 years. So I'm now 34. So that means exactly the half time of my life I had
Yeah.
dreadlocks. Huh?
Yeah.
So I would say 70% of all people who got to know me, if I look now in my, let's say, Facebook friend list, from this, I don't know how many people are in there, probably 70 people met me with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had them like 17 years. I don't know many people who had dreadlocks for 17 years. I love them. It
Bob
was,
Marley.
yeah, I'm sure there are some yeah, people who has them longer, not too many white guys probably with blonde dreads. But
Yeah,
at
true.
one point, I think I talked a few times with friends, you know, you have always with dreadlocks, lots of people love them and other people say, oh my God, they're disgusting, cut them, they are
Yeah.
ugly, they're animals inside and stuff like this. Yeah? So at one point I told myself, okay, before I turn 30, I will cut my dreadlocks. Just that I have something where I say, okay, now it's time to change and move on to a new episode of my life. So I've been in, yeah, when I was 30, what was this, 2016, whatever, 2016 in May in Tarifa. And I turned 30 beginning of June 2016, I guess, 2016. And 2 weeks before I cut my dreads.
Because
I said before 30. And I cut them
okay.
2 weeks before I turned 30.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
No, I was just wondering
But
about that. Why you cut them? But then again,
yeah, that
I
was not
also am one of those types of people that I find it doesn't fit everyone, and it does, like with your judgments and stereotypes. It's
sure.
hard to imagine, like you're like, this guy,
Sure. I think also now, let's say, look, if I go to a meeting and I show clients of mine a 2.5 million villa somewhere around here, and I come with my dreadlocks and this,
Yeah.
it's everything is possible, and why not? I don't judge, but a lot of people do.
Exactly.
And yeah, I'm 34 now, so at one point, yeah, I loved my dreads and I had good times, and I was really like, no, I can't cut them and this. But when I've done, I've been happy, and
You're still happy.
still some girls still liked me even without dreads, so
That's good. That's always
I've
good.
been happy. Yeah, yeah.
And well, I guess I figured out how you ended up in Africa. Did you ever go to Africa before Zanzibar, or you never went there?
I've been to Sal, Capo Verde
Okay.
before, and but never Zanzibar, and not really, no.
So
Haven't been.
here I have like you went to Greece, you went to Egypt, you went Zanzibar. I guess different mountains in Austria for the snowboarding. It wasn't, or was the
Yeah, yeah,
Alps different mountains?
yeah. Everywhere in Austria, all kind
Okay.
of mountains. Yeah.
And then what other places in the world have you been in? Cape Town, I
Oh,
know.
yeah. I've been
Cabo
for kite
Verde.
surfing. I've been to a lot of different places. I've never went somewhere else for snowboarding than Austria, because we have all the mountains in Austria. So I said no, I stay in Austria. Even if I would have loved to go to Japan or like some heli skiing somewhere,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
where. But I
Did you
said
ever
no,
do
I stay
heli
in
skiing?
Austria. Not yet.
Okay.
No, no, no. But for kite surfing, I try to travel all over the world. So I've been, yeah, you said a few places already. So I've been with my parents. I've been a lot to Fuerteventura. I think I've been there 10 times. But that was mostly windsurfing. I've been to Greece a lot, not just Carpathos. I've been to Rhodes. I've been to the mainland in Greece. I've been to Egypt in all different kind of spots. I've been to Cape Town, I think 4 times. I've been to Brazil for like 3 times or 4 times, each time for 2 months.
Oh,
I've
okay.
been many times to Mauritius. I've spent in between the Zanzibar seasons, mostly October, November in Mauritius. I have a lot of good friends who live in Mauritius. Um, and once I changed from kite freestyle to more strapless riding waves, surfboard. I loved Mauritius. Mauritius has one of the best waves in the world.
Yeah.
There's Manava, what is amazing wave, especially also for even beginners can go there because it's pretty slow. And then there's the world famous One Eye, what can be like, yeah, incredible. Like you shit your pants when you see it.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time there. And of course, I went to Cabarete. My first time Cabarete, I went in 2011. I came for 5 months. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, I worked with him in Egypt. I worked with him in Greece. Um, because of me, he came to Austria and lives now in Austria. It's pretty cool. And he told me about Cabarete and said,
Yeah.
"Wow, I'm sure you would love it. It's windy, cool people, party, whatever." Um, he was working for Jens for Vela at this time, and so he gave me the contact. I contacted Audrey Meyer. You just had
Yeah.
the talk with her a few weeks or days ago.
Yeah.
And I came here for 5 months, and I worked part-time as a kite instructor for her or with her. But it was more like pretty chilled. I would say like maybe 10 days a month's work, and the
Hmm.
rest just kite surfing and enjoying life. I rented a house in Pro Cup. I took 2 friends of mine, 2 instructors, ski instructors from the winter season. I took them with me, and I taught them how to kite surf, and they stayed the whole 5 months with me here,
Okay.
and got into kite surfing, and it's pretty cool. They still do kite surf, even one been working as kite instructor then for a while, and
Okay.
that's how I came to Cabarete, and that's also how I felt in love. So that was in 2011, and at this time I knew that was the only place so far I could imagine myself living. When I was younger, I thought I want to live in Fuerteventura because I
Yeah.
spent so much time there. And I saw all these cool people, and it was a real like, I've been a lot to Coralejo, it's in the north, what
Yeah.
was a really cool surfer town. So I haven't been since long time, but I know that it changed quite a bit already. When I've been the last time, it changed quite a bit, and it wasn't that of a cool town anymore, but still good. But it's still like in winter not that hot, um, and it can be cold for me. I'm a really I love hot temperature. I love summer. I love having 30 degrees every single day, not wearing a wetsuit. And that's why I said, wow, Cabarete, that's exactly what I want. Even in winter, it's amazing. Sunny, warm, like wind 300 days a year. Um,
But are you
yeah,
still snowboarding at all, or no?
almost nothing.
Nothing. Oh,
I
okay.
think so. I did for many years. I did around 100 to 115 days of snowboarding a year,
Okay.
and I think in the last 3 years I've been 3 days or 4 days of snowboarding.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. And that was always just one day with a friend of mine, just to yeah
Yeah,
ride a
just to
little
go
bit
back.
and
And why
exactly.
not? Why haven't you done that?
Snowboarding is cold.
Hmm.
It's really cold in winter. No, the thing is also, so I've been the past 6 years, I've been from beginning of December till mid March in Zanzibar. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah, yeah, I
almost
see.
the whole winter. After the first 2 3 years, I still went for snowboard season back
Yeah,
after mid March. So end of March, I went to the mountains. I had my clients who's been still riding with me. They booked me. So for Easter and this, I've been still snowboarding. But then at one point I said, no, look, I don't want to. I have just 3 months time in between,
yeah,
and 3 months holiday is really short. So I didn't want to waste 2 3 weeks in the mountains and teaching snowboarding at this time as well. And I said, no, I fly somewhere to the tropics in March already. I came to Cabaret the end of March. I went to Sal in beginning of April and stuff like this.
yeah.
And I go kite surfing because I prefer to have my board shorts every single day and be under the sun.
And well, that makes sense. So no snowboarding. And what do you sort of see? Because like you listed all these places. Well, first, actually, which one is your favorite? Or which one is your favorite? I guess you said it. Which one's your favorite for living? You said sort of Cabarete. And then for waves, I'm guessing this might be, I'm not gonna say it, but I
So,
have my assumptions.
so what is the favorite is really difficult because it really depends for what.
Uh,
I choose Cabarete because um, the overall is amazing here.
yeah,
Like I said before, you have, I don't know, 330 days a year sun, you have 300 days a year wind, you
yeah,
have waves, you have good people, a good community. Um, it is pretty cheap compared to many other places.
it's more
Um,
affordable. Yeah,
exactly, yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. But of course, if you ask me where is your favorite wave spot in the world, I would say Mauritius. Uh,
sure.
I've been sometimes 2 months in Mauritius, sometimes 1 month in Mauritius. I had one year where I've been one time in May for photo shooting in Mauritius for a month, and we had 3 days waves with wind. I've been once for 2 months, and we had maybe 6 days with amazing
What did
conditions.
you do the rest of the time?
It's still possible to kite, but I mean, like really, let's say waves above 2.5 meter and good wind. You can have like a meter wave and wind, but that's not really why you go to Mauritius if you want to have waves.
I
So you can
understand.
still
Okay.
kite, but if I go to Mauritius, I want like proper waves.
Yeah.
But I had some seasons where I've been 2 months and we had like 45 amazing days where
Yeah.
you're like every day is better than the one before and every day is like, oh my god, that was the best day in my life so far.
Yeah.
So you can have amazing conditions, but I have to say I had in Zanzibar some really amazing wave conditions, what most people don't even believe, because I don't know, Zanzibar has sometimes in Europe a little bit of bad reputation about, oh, there's never wind, we have light wind and whatsoever. I would say from June till September, it's amazing. So last year, 2019, these 3 months, I've been riding. I'm a pretty heavy guy with like over 90 kilos. I've been riding my 9 meter kite almost every single day. And we had so many days with waves from 1.5 up to 2.5 meters. And the good thing in Zanzibar, I'm by myself in the wave. I can do a downwinder 15 kilometer long, and there's not one other single person if I don't want, except if I take them with me.
Yeah.
In Mauritius, the downside on a good day in one eye, you have like 60 kiters, you have 40 windsurfers, 50%.
There's even windsurfers in one eye.
Yeah, there's a lot of windsurfers. Also, I would say I still have more windsurf friends than kitesurf friends. Like at least people who I travel with. To Mauritius, I travel mostly with windsurf friends. To Cape Town, I travel mostly with windsurf friends because they're friends from back in the days when I've been windsurfing, and they're looking for conditions like me. Most of the kite surfers, what I know, they are more into freestyle and stuff like this.
Gotcha.
Now it changed a little bit more with wave riding, but I'm into wave riding now, I would say since 5 years. But that's the downside of these spots. Like you really have to fight for your wave, and even once you're in the wave, two kiters with a twin tip and a windsurfer drops in and cuts you off and stuff like this, and you can't do anything. So you have amazing conditions and stuff, but you have to share it. What I don't have a problem to share, especially with friends. It's amazing, and also to give my friends windsurfers, I always give a wave. But then if there are a few kooks who are dropping you in all the time, it's just annoying. And that's on these spots, and that's happening in Cape Town, and that's happening in Sal, Capo Verde. Unfortunately, I always had bad conditions in Capo Verde. I've never been riding in Ponta Preta, what is one of the world's most famous waves, and that's why I went there for. But unfortunately, it was not working at all in these 3 weeks I've been there. The plan being, I wanted to go there this year or beginning of next year again there, but no.
When is their season, out of curiosity?
I think best season is something December till March, what I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day I see all the photos.
We go together. I know that you have to start traveling a little bit more.
So they say. Because what?
Yeah.
But I want to hear it. Because what? Why do I have to travel?
No, because what I know, you haven't been traveling. Where have you been kiting outside of Dominican Republic?
Kiting? Oh, nowhere. Yeah, no. Like I've kited at. I've kited in England, which was a joke.
Okay.
It was one of the worst spots. It was hilarious, though. I loved it in Essex. I kited in. Well, I attempted to kite, I think, where no one has ever really kited in Canada, like in the river. I don't even know if it was legal or not. I just saw a bit of wind, launched up, and I went, and then the wind was so bad, though. And I came back to tell the people, like, hey, the wind sucks near the shore. I'm going to go further out. And as I did that, the line touched a little branch, and I've never seen it just get attached and just loop, broke a line. I brought another bar when I went out again. But other than that, I also kited in Isla Margarita once on a cruise ship.
Nice.
And one of the guys is actually from Cabrera there. And that was a bit of a strange spot. Like, it was good, though, really windy. But yeah, no real trip.
But that's why, like I said, Dominican Republic is amazing, and we have great kite conditions. Even now, people say October is not a good month. You see it yourself. We are every single day at the water at the moment. We have
I'm actually a bit annoyed. I want some days off.
I'm happy because I got a little bit tired of kite surfing now in the past few months, because we've been pretty much kiting because there was not much else to do. And so I'm pretty happy that I started winging like a few days ago, and I'm every day going winging at the moment, and yeah, something new. And
Is there anything you want to plug there? Are you gonna plug something? Like it almost sounded like another infomercial.
no, 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 no. No, I don't want
Any
to.
board, any
I
wing
don't
you want
want.
to just plug in there? No, no,
No,
but
look, what I have to say is really.
yes,
So
yes,
normally I go kite surfing. I live less than 100 meters away from the ocean and from the my kite spot where I ride usually. So I take my gear next to my pool is my storage. I take my gear, walk 45 seconds and pump my kite
yeah,
and go out. So that's cool. I've been kiting a lot with you in this year, with some other friends, and been amazing sessions. But now with winging, I experienced a little bit something new because this sport is so new. So myself, I got lucky and I have my wings here since a
yeah,
few days or like not even 2 weeks. I got my foil here as well for winging, but I don't have a board yet. But that's the cool thing about Cabarete, the community. So I drive every day to Kite Club at the moment. And then there are a few other people like me. Some of them has a board and have a foil, but maybe don't have a wing. So we
yeah,
are sharing the equipment. Today I used my foil with the board of a friend and the wing of another friend.
yeah,
So we're switching it up, and everyone is helping everyone. And we're testing different equipment as well, especially because the sport is so new. You can see, oh, I like this one a little bit more because at the beginning, when you start a new sport, kitesurfing is now since 20 years or something. There
yeah,
are so many people who can help you. With swinging, it's still so new. People don't really know. If I ask someone, what is a good board for me? What is a good wing? Which mast should I get? It's difficult to say, and that's why it's good to try different things.
yeah.
And that's what I love in Cabaret, the community. I go to Kite Club and they say, yeah, just take the board, try it out, and yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I guess that's sort of
And it's not
something
just
that
at
we're
Kite
like,
Club. There are,
yeah, a lot of places here. Like that's sort of something that we're spoiled with that we don't realize.
yeah,
Like in first world countries and well, other countries just in general. Like it's very like keep to yourself. Don't talk to other people. Don't look at other people. Do
yeah,
your own thing and then go home.
yeah. See, for sure, at some spots in the world, I think the kite community and surf community is everywhere in the world pretty cool. And even in Austria on the lake, if I go to someone and say, hey, can I try your kite or can I try your board? Most people
Yeah,
would say, yeah, sure, try it out, and that's how it should be. But Cabaret is definitely special in this because really everyone helps everyone, and um, yeah, that's why people come here once and fall in love and never want to leave again.
yeah. A lot of people. It's something crazy. There's something in the air, something in the water here that people come down and then they just don't leave. And I forgot who was it. There's like one guy. He literally
For
came
sure,
down once, and he
for
hasn't
sure.
left. I think in like 13 years. Just left, like never went back. You know?
Oh yeah, but I know quite a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I know
it's
quite a few people.
but like not even left
I
the
don't know if you
country
see
like for vacation.
the paint. Oh yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. No, no. I know a few like this, and I met so many people. Like I said, the painting behind me from Samantha Shivers. I met her in 2011. She came here and saw yeah, she never tried kite surfing before, and then she started kiting, and since this, she lives here. And there are so many people like this who came here once and thought they stay for months and are here since 10 years now.
Yeah. No, it's a unique spot. And with that being said, just in general, what do you see are sort of the pros and the cons behind like living in a first world country and a third world country? Because you sort of done both. So what do you sort of see with that? Do you see like life in a first world country being ideal, life in a third world country being ideal? What do you like about it? Or what do you don't like about it?
I don't know. For me, Dominican Republic is not. So I spent 6 years in Zanzibar, and Zanzibar is by far not as developed as Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So for me here, it's luxury. In Zanzibar, especially when I arrived there, the supermarket being next to my house, but the supermarket opened after I left for work and closed before I came back from work. Uh, and the supermarket being like a 20 square meter store with 30 different items. So you couldn't buy anything. The only thing I bought in the supermarket was water and maybe sometimes a package of chips, and that's it. Um, the same with restaurants and like no shops. You can't buy any clothes or nothing. So that's how Zanzibar was when I arrived there. So for me, Dominican Republic, it has almost all you need because I live in Cabarete, where it's a small town. Like I have my quietness, but I can still go out for party. I have supermarkets even in Cabarete. The supermarket is not too bad. In Sosur, there's quite big supermarkets. In Puerto Plata is like huge supermarket. And if I want something bigger, I drive to Santiago. That's like 1.5 hours, or not even. I drive to Santo Domingo. I'm in 3 hours there, and I have everything what I need. You have big shopping malls. Like when I bought my apartment and I remodeled everything, I went to IKEA, bought my stuff at IKEA. So you have almost everything here, what I need. So
So for you
I'm
though, do you
I
see
would say
like
I'm not really missing.
and how do you think people behave? Like,
Sorry,
is there a
sorry.
behavior difference, a culture difference you find between first world and third world countries? Like something you like more or less, or is it all relative? It's all
Of
pretty much
course.
the same.
There's no. There's definitely a difference, but I think that also really you can't really say it's the difference. Well, I would say not between first world country and third world country, because it depends which third world country. Because here people are definitely completely different than in Zanzibar, and in Austria people are different than I don't know where, like in England and whatever.
Yeah.
It really depends where, but of course, living here has also some downsides, and um,
Tell me two downsides.
um, everything takes a little bit longer. Let's say you make an appointment with a local guy. You say Monday 9 o'clock. If you're lucky, he comes on Monday 5 p.m. instead of 9 a.m. If you're not so lucky, he comes on Thursday at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Stuff like this. It is pretty noisy. People love their loud music, love their loud motorbikes and stuff. What for me is not really a problem. I know people. I had it in Zanzibar. I have a quad bike there. I have my motorbike
Well, you
there.
have a loud bike as well.
Sorry?
You have a loud bike as well.
In Dominican Republic, I definitely have a loud bike, and that's what I just wanted to say. Like I have a few loud bikes here, and in Zanzibar I had bikes what are less loud than my bikes here. And in Zanzibar, people been complaining like, "Oh, your bike is so loud," and here no one would even like say anything because
Yeah.
there are like thousands of bikes like mine and
Yeah.
who are even louder. So that's not a problem here, and but that could be for some people a little bit annoying. And of course, you don't get everything here. Like me now, I would need some stuff from Europe, and it's difficult to get it here. Everything is possible. I can ship it here, but you have to ship it here. You have to pay tax to get it here. So it's a little bit more difficult than when I'm in Europe and stuff. Exactly, more expensive. But on the other hand, so many things are much more cheap. If I go in the supermarket, like restaurants, I can have dinner here, amazing dinner for like $10. And in other places, like in Mauritius, I spend a lot of money. Like it's at least double the price than Dominican Republic for food and supermarket and stuff like this.
No, there's definitely pros and cons to everywhere, but then again, this place sort of has it like they're the slogan of the country, right? The slogan is Dominican Republic. It has it all, and they literally
Exactly.
mean all.
Yeah,
Loud, quiet,
and
important, local.
it is true. And if you want to have it quiet in Dominican Republic, it's absolutely not a problem, because you go a little bit up the hill
Yeah,
and you're all by yourself. And I know people who has a villa, finca, whatever, somewhere in the mountains, and you're by yourself, and your next neighbor is like 3 kilometers away, and
yeah,
you hear no one. Huh? So if you want this, you can have this. If you want to be in middle of the town where the music, the party, everything is going on, then you do this.
you could do that. Yeah.
And that's the saying, like, yeah, for me, it's true. It has it all and everything I need. I'm here now since December, I said, since February in a row. That's now 8 months. I can't remember that I've been to a place 8 months, and most places I go to after 3, 4 months latest, I get really bored of it and I need a change. And
Mhm.
I know that I will stay here a few more months now, the next few months, and I have absolutely not a problem with it, because I have everything I need here.
Well, there's also lots to explore. You know, lots of places to go as well. If you ever get bored, you can
Exactly.
go do so many things.
Exactly. That's like, you know it yourself. We've been a few weeks ago riding our motorbikes, been
Yeah,
at a lake in middle of the country, where I thought, if I don't know it and if I see it, I think, okay, I'm now in a lake in Austria or maybe in Canada, because
yeah.
mountains around. And so this country
Colder
has so much to
temperature.
offer,
Yeah,
colder temperature. I've never been myself really high up the mountains here in the country, but I want to do it. It's in my on my bucket list. And I know that you like it's getting really cold. So in winter, if you want to have cold temperature, you just go further up the mountain, and you can have your, like, I don't know, 10 degrees Celsius and stuff like this, or even lower, I think. Um,
yeah, ish. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
definitely lower than 18.
So yeah. No. I think what I heard, it goes really
Yeah,
low down on this. Yeah.
I
But
know it's really
anyway,
cold. Yeah, it's really cold.
yeah. But and yeah, like since we're riding a little bit more our motorbikes in this, I've seen so much from the country. You know, when I came the first time to Cabarete, um, yeah, you come to a place, and I'm not a guy who is like, oh yeah, I look at all these tourist attractions and I explore the whole country. I'm more like, yeah, I found a good kite spot and I stay there for 4 months and kite every single day.
Yeah,
But now, because I'm living here, I want to see more from the country, and it really has so much to offer. There are so many amazing beaches, there are amazing roads, there is amazing countryside, all this land, and this it's like it's yeah, it's great to see, and there's so much to explore. And we have a few nice trips coming up probably soon, so I can't wait to do this and see more of this country. And because I guess I've seen maybe 10-15% of the country, maybe not even. Yeah.
yeah.
So you've definitely seen more than me, but yeah, can't wait.
No, it's a special place, and but you also have to take the time to do all those trips, you know, because we also like, you know, you need
Sure.
the tools and you need to be willing to go down those dark roads and see what's there. But
Exactly. No.
nothing is impossible.
It it it's I have to say it's definitely worth it. So if you come to Dominican Republic, and especially if you have the time and stay for a few weeks or even a few months, it's definitely worth to, like, I love Cabarete, and for me, I think to live, it's the best place in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
But you should definitely check out the other places.
Of course,
Like,
sure.
you should go to the north. Like, I don't know, I love Punta Rusia for just like the watercolors, the beach. Even the kite surfing is amazing there. And Las Terrenas is super nice. But even Santo Domingo, a big city, you have your traffic, you have your smelly air and stuff like this. If you want
Yeah.
this, go there, and it's good. It's good to have a change sometimes. Yeah.
Exactly. It is a full-on city. Like I know
Yeah.
there's traffic that's worse, but it's
Yeah.
pretty intense in either
For
case.
me, the traffic is already can't get much worse. Yeah.
No,
So,
exactly. I don't want to
yeah.
see where. I don't want. I can't even
No.
imagine worse. I don't want to.
No. Me too. And I don't know these people who live in. I don't know.
Los
I've never
Angeles.
been to New York or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like driving to work daily, like 1.5 hours or stuff like this. Like this is insane. So my office is 60 meters away from my apartment. So even
Yeah.
if if I go on all four, I would need 2 minutes. Huh?
Yeah.
So, and that's how my life is in the last years, and yeah, that's how I like it.
So to sort of go on to like another sort of like a segment that I want to like.
We go to the dreadlocks again, or
No, we're not going back to the
no? Okay.
dreadlocks unless it's part of it.
Okay. Oh
But
no.
this is sort of shifting gears because within everything you've said, there have been some like underlying principles and underlying like sort of values that sort of like shape up who Marcel is, without you even saying them. Some of them you did say, but some of them are just like how you think and how you have made decisions. But it's like, um, how do you see sort of like the future? Well, you could decide which you want to answer first, but how do you see the future like of sort of the world going forward for yourself and then for society in general? And the other question, which sort of ties into it, what are some of your, let's say, business philosophies? Because also the hard thing that even I have to imagine is that I know you from your hang around side and not your hey get to work side, right? I'm
Yeah.
imagining they're two different people. Because one of them is like, hey buddy, how's it going? The other one's like, hey, you son of a
Yeah.
bee, why are you 1 minute late?
For sure. Yep.
So there's sort of three questions in there. I don't know how you want to organize it, how you want to, what you think is more relevant first. One of them, just to recap, was how do you see your future going? How do you see the society's future going? And what are some of your philosophies and values, let's say?
Okay. So like my future, especially in these days now, it's even more difficult, I guess, to predict the future because, like let's say 1 year ago,
Yeah.
everyone would have said something completely different than this year been for most of the people. So it's really hard to predict any future. But I have to say, my future is going in the same direction as it went now, or it's been in the past. I'm doing what I love and I'm doing what I want, and that can change all the time because the same with my sports. I've been a windsurfer and I thought windsurfing, I will be windsurfing till I'm old and stuff. And then it changed to kite surfing, and now I start winging, and maybe in a year I say, oh, I don't go kiting anymore, what I don't think yet. But it's the same with
Yeah.
kite surfing before, and that's the same with like work wise. Yeah. So for me, it was always I'm a windsurf, kite surf, ski, and snowboard instructor. Huh? I have all four license, and that was always when I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm teaching, coaching people. But at one point, then it swapped over to managing people, doing stuff like this. And now I started the real estate stuff. So who knows? Maybe at one point I stopped doing anything with kiting. I still do something else. I work for GA Kites, a German kite brand. I help them developing kites. I organize photo shootings for them and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things what I do. But I can't really say in which direction it goes now. especially now with real estate. I thought I'm doing this for fun on the side a little bit, see how it goes.
Yeah.
And that swapped for now more to my main job at the moment,
Yeah.
because I can't go to Zanzibar and stuff. And what I'm still happy because I love, I love real estate, like checking out different places, showing it to people, sell stuff to people. And for me, it's just great that I can get other people, like that I can,
On
I
board.
don't find the right word, like, yeah, and that they are moving to Dominican Republic, and I see their stoke and stuff, like they're thinking about maybe buying here a condo. And like me, I did 2.5 years ago, and I know how I felt when I'm like, yeah, fuck, now I buy an apartment here, and now I own my first apartment here, and that's just a
Yeah.
great feeling to see people, when their dreams come true, and moving from cold Europe to hot Dominican Republic. Some of them full time, some of them just
Yeah, vacation home.
part time, some just as an investment, rental investment, whatever, or for retirement. And that's just a cool feeling. So, but yeah, the future we will see. And yeah.
But do you read like any books? Do you watch anything that sort of helps you? Like none of this. Like where do you come up with ideas?
No, I watch stuff. I have to say I'm not really reading too much.
Yeah.
But I watch stuff what like where people inspire me and get new ideas what I want to do and stuff like this. But yeah, reading
No,
not
but that's
my
fine. But
thing.
I'm saying like so you
I
do watch things to like sort
I
of
fall
like get
asleep.
ideas and develop.
Okay, now connection being bad, so I didn't hear you.
Out.
Um,
No, saying like
but
so
yeah,
you're not
I watch
reading, but you're
I watch
watching things.
yeah, exactly. I watch things and different kind, but I watch also, like, let's say, a few YouTubers, what is like people where I think they can inspire me. They they reach some goals in their lives and what I have still in front of me, and I see how they reach them and how they progress, and I'm trying to do the same or even better than them, and that helps me, I think. And yeah.
Are you a competitive person?
Mm, um, it depends. Not like some other people. It depends. Of course, I want, like, let's say Zanzibar kite school. I wanted to have, let's say, I want to have the best kite school, the best instructors, the best equipment, the nicest setup, and stuff like this. I want to have a good real estate company with a good name. I want to have a certain level and stuff like this. So that has to grow in this. But I'm not like competitive. Like if I go kiting with you and I see you doing some tricks, of course
Yeah.
I try, we push each other, but I'm not like getting annoyed and
Like
stuff, and I'm
envy.
like, oh, I have to beat you, oh, let's go out, look, I do like this with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
No, I was just wondering if that's like if that's a part of it, but all right. And how do you then see? So you're saying for you, you're sort of like going with the flow a little bit, working with what you got, because at least for right now, things are not ideal, let's say. But you
no.
still have your eye on that beachfront property. What happened? It cut out?
Yeah, it cut out again. I could hear, you still have your eye on that, and that's it.
Ah, okay. Like you still have your eye. You didn't mention this in the video, but I know from in person, having a beachfront property, like living directly on the beach in a sick spot where you can do water sports or relax, whatever. So you still have your eye on like that ultimate goal, I'm guessing, like for your future.
of course, I have a few goals what I haven't reached, or I would say I set myself new goals. When I reach the goal, a new goal comes up. Because at the beginning it was like, yeah, get my apartment and live here until the rest of your life. And then, okay, I have one apartment, now I have a second one. I want to have several apartments, or I want to have a villa, whatever. So I have some different goals, and my goal is definitely I want one day I want my house somewhere on the beach where I just walk a few meters and kite in directly in front of my own house with my own pool. And there's another thing I definitely I'm looking into opening, like doing like a kite school in Cabarete, or like a kind of kite, like a place, a hangout place where you like offer lessons, maybe a restaurant with bar. We have some places in Cabarete, but I think there's still some, it could be a little bit better, and there is still some opportunity to do it better.
Yeah.
And I hope at one day I just wait for the right location and the right time, and I hope in one day that this comes true, and I have my spot here, and everything runs like I have it in my head for now.
Okay. And so now we know a little bit about that. So then where do you see, so how do you though, so shifting gears, how do you sort of see then, you see yourself sort of adapting and doing good into the future because you seem like an adaptive person. How do you see society going? Or
Yeah.
no comment?
Yeah, no, that's difficult for me because yeah, especially now, I really don't know what's going on with the world and what is coming towards us. So
Because
it's
like the
really hard.
traits, let's say this. So that what would you say are like the top 3 traits you need to be like a good, productive individual in a company, in a country? Like it's sort of the same thing. So like I know that you have like your like philosophies of like, let's say showing up on time. You know, if you're at work for 8 hours, then work for 8 hours. You know, so what do you see though that the people nowadays are doing those types of things? Like, do they have those disciplines, or are they sort of like all over the place and it's just like a bit of chaos because there's no organization from the work
No,
productive side? Like, there's too many
yeah,
people chilling.
that I think that really depends on the people. Like you find this and this, huh?
Yeah,
So everyone who ever worked with me, especially in the past few years, like in Zanzibar and this, they know that I'm, if someone is like a minute late, they get in big troubles. And
yeah,
yeah, so this is for me, like I'm a person since I'm young. I'm always, if you meet at 7, I'm there at 6:45. Even I try to be already late, but I'm still 15 minutes before. And I
yeah.
think that's something really important and respectful. If you have a meeting or something, you don't want to let the other person wait. I think it's
Mhm.
disrespectful if you say, let's meet tomorrow at 9 a.m. and then the other person says, shows up at 9:30 and says, oh, sorry, I'm late. Like, yeah, what is the reason why you're late? So
Yeah,
that's something really important. But I have to say, this you can teach people. I've seen this myself. So I had in Zanzibar in total probably 45 instructors, 50 instructors in total, and 70% of them been late at the beginning.
yeah,
But when you tell them, look, this is important for me, you can do this 2 times, and then you can pack your stuff and you train them, then it works. And I have my local Zanzibarian workers who work with me. I have an instructor who works with me. I have 3 beach boys who work with me. And I have to say, they are never late. They are always on time.
yeah,
they come much earlier than they should. They prepare everything by themselves because they know they have a pretty good job. They make more, they earn more money than in the usual jobs in Zanzibar, and they don't want to lose this. They know it's important for me, and they do this. And it's the same in Dominican Republic. So many people tell me, no, but that's just the culture, and that's how people are here.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true, because if I have someone working for me, and of course you have to pay this person good, and that he knows like, oh, if I lose this job, then it's over and I will not get another job like this again. And then he
Yeah.
will put the effort in and tries to be on time and try to do his work. And if you pay your like the average salary like everyone else, let's say I have a beach bar and you pay exactly the same as every single other bar and it's the same, then people they don't care on this. But if you pay more, they get good tip, you have a good environment and stuff, then they will put more effort in to keep this job. Because
Yeah.
if you have a good job, good salary, you like your job, you don't want to lose it. And so I think that's possible everywhere. Doesn't matter where in the world. And that's just like, yeah, you have to like train them, and yeah.
All right. And do you think people nowadays have those like sort of basics?
No, no, definitely not. I think it's definitely getting
Is it getting better or
even
is it
worse.
getting worse?
No, it's getting worse, because I guess like years ago, people been more respectful, been more on time, been
Yeah.
more whatever, and now they are younger people, they don't care much. They even like, let's say they try a job, they try it for 2 weeks, then they say, oh, I don't really like it, and you they just don't do it well, that they get kicked out or something. Like
Yeah.
I had some jobs as well where I was like, oh, I don't love it, I don't like it really, but I said I do this for this certain time, let's say for these 3 months, so I
Yeah.
will do it for these 3 months and finish it, and then I can get something other. But now people are like, oh, I don't like it, so I change it and stuff, what is okay as well, but still they should try to put like the work in to do their best, and try to maybe like it, and because yeah, if you don't put enough effort in, yeah, the boss will not be happy, and then you are not happy, and then of course you don't like it.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important, like let's say with people, like for me the hardest part in Zanzibar is to find the right instructors. Yeah.
Sure.
To find people who fit to me, and who I think are doing a great amazing job, had a certain amount of like skills and experience, and that's something really hard. And I think that's what also a lot of people are not doing right. They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter in which kind of job, but I'm now always comparing it to kite instructors, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm looking for a new kite instructor. Oh, this guy is looking for a job, yeah, I take him. But they don't have any background of the person, they don't know
Okay.
him,
I
they
get
don't
you.
know what they are doing. So me, in my time off from Zanzibar, I do Skype interviews with people. I mostly just look into people where I know that some friends recommend me this person. They know him. They know he is on time. He is friendly. I can trust him. I know he has the experience and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I think just a lot of people are like, oh, I'm looking for someone for a job, but I'm too lazy to really look for it, because that
Yeah.
takes a lot of time. If you have like 200 CVs and you have to go through all of them and then divide them and then talk with all of them and spend hours in, and some people are just, ah, fuck, I take the first one and then I see if it's good or not.
Yeah. No, it's very true. And it takes a lot of time. That's why, like, when you hire people, both of them, like, they say
It's a
hire.
crazy.
They say hire slow but fire fast.
Yeah,
I think is one
yeah.
of them.
No, it takes a lot of time. And then also, if you hire someone new, you should take your time to show this person everything. And you can't, like, if you hire someone new and he has a new job, you can't like think, yeah, he's doing everything 100% right
Yeah,
at the beginning on
like you got to
already.
be on
Of
top of
course,
them.
exactly, you have to be on top all the time, and that's what I do. Like with my kite instructors, I watch them every single day. I'm sitting on the beach watching what they are doing, and if I see they do something wrong, I will go to them and tell them. And some of them, they don't take it well because they think, oh, they are teaching since 4 years and they
Yeah,
know everything. What is absolutely bullshit, because you learn your whole life, and even after 10 years of teaching, you can still learn something. And that's what a lot of people are not doing. They hire someone and put it in your kite school, in your shop, in your bar, and whatever, and say, oh, do whatever you want, just do it.
yeah.
But they don't do it right then.
No, that is a tricky part. Like even for myself, I'm dealing with people on here and there basis, and the training part is very important. But also, what I do find from the limited amount of people that I've interacted with is that people nowadays, I find they think just because they heard it once or whatever it might
Yeah,
be, that they're like
yeah,
professionals at it,
yeah, sure,
right?
sure, sure. No,
And
no.
they also
And
then don't take the effort to develop themselves, and they think like, this person should hold my hand for everything, and I'll
yeah,
sort of just do whatever without even thinking about it, and I don't know what that is. Like there's just some people that it doesn't click, like they don't think like more than half a step ahead. They might not even
yeah,
think a step ahead, and
yeah,
that's sort of the tough thing, because in the end then it's sort of like you're swimming upstream when you're trying to train these types of individuals, and they can be very capable people, because a lot of people are very capable, but it's just that one thing that, like, if they don't focus or if they don't dedicate themselves to the work, then what should take 1 hour takes 10 hours, or never, or or never. But yeah, no, hiring good people is definitely, I think, a key, because, and especially for you, you're dealing with like high end clientele, which some people might not know the difference between. Like they're like, what do you mean? What's the difference between the service of McDonald's and the service of a 5-star or 6-star hotel in
exactly.
Zanzibar?
No,
There's a
yeah.
big difference.
Definitely, definitely. And
So
it's with everything. Yeah, if you want a certain amount, like a certain service and a certain level of your company, of your restaurant, of your shop and stuff,
yeah,
you need to have the right person in. You know yourself. You have a shop in this,
yeah,
and I don't know if you ever had bad experience in this with
sure,
someone who works there in this, but you will see the difference if someone works there who is not friendly to the clients, not interested in selling something, or if there's someone who is super friendly, showing you everything, and that will make a huge difference, and your business
yeah.
will go like this or go like this. Yeah?
And from your
I
experience in
I
some,
have to say, I've been today in your shop,
yeah,
and the girl who works there now, she tried to sell me everything. So I think she's not good, because I was close to buy something I even didn't want. Yeah? So she's too good for you, but not good for me. Yeah.
we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get you that blue
No,
bottle
no.
real soon. That blue tumbler.
Yeah.
It's a nice one,
Oh
and
my
I think it
God. Yeah.
matches. You like blue? It almost matches that painting in the background, like that splash.
Yeah. It matches everything I have. I know. But I
Exactly.
have my black bottle, so I don't need a blue
Yeah.
one. But let's see. Maybe
Never
I
know.
think
Never
you
know. There's always,
can convince
for
me.
me, I love having like, because people, for me, it's not so much about the plastic bottles. It's just the fact that it keeps things cold and hot,
Oh,
and especially in this country that doesn't
like
sweat, it's just like I don't even know what puddles are anymore because of using different types of
I have to tell you,
insulated
since I have
bottles.
this,
Yeah,
it's insane. drink is cold the whole day. If I fill it in at 9 a.m. in the morning and I have it in my car with 35 degrees the
Yeah.
whole day, in the evening it's still cold. This is just amazing. That changed my life. Yeah.
It's something that people don't understand. Same with my coffee cup.
Yeah.
It's the same style of product, water bottles. It's just a game changer. And once you go to
Yeah.
this, I can't go
No,
back.
no, it's like in Austria or something, I would not need it. I have my tap water everywhere where I can drink out of the tap.
Sure, sure.
In a country like here where it's hot all the time, you need to drink a lot of water. So it's just amazing. I love cold water. So
Okay.
it's amazing to have this kind of bottle, even if they're quite pricey at the beginning. I know that a lot of people
Yeah.
say, oh, like $50 for a bottle like this. I don't want to spend that much, but I have to say, at the end, it's definitely worth it,
No,
because you have it for
exactly.
a while. And
It's those small things in life that just make your life that much better, and you don't realize it.
exactly, exactly, yeah.
And
But that was now enough advertising
yeah, yeah,
for.
exactly. So that's enough advertising. Just I want to know about if it's one and the same, but I know that you've had some accidents in your life, and maybe you can share like uh your worst accident and then what you learned from it, like the lesson of it. And I think that would be like almost wrapping it up.
Okay. Well, I don't even know what I would call my worst accident, because I had quite a few accidents.
Yeah.
Luckily, never something really, really
Fatal.
crazy bad, but I broke a lot of bones in my life,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Knock on wood, that doesn't
I
happen.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, I I I really don't know what's the worst or something, but my last accident was almost 2 years ago now.
Okay.
Like bad accident. I went from Mauritius with a friend of mine to Australia. So we stayed 1 month in Mauritius and wanted to stay 1 month in Australia.
Yeah.
We rented a caravan, and after 20 hours in Australia, we had the good idea to ride a quad bike in the dunes. And I'm riding quad bikes since I'm 18 or something. So I had a quad bike in Austria for many years. I have a quad bike in Zanzibar for many years. I have like big, powerful quads. And this quad was a small, little, shitty quad. And the guy was It was really stupid. The guy was explaining exactly the same what I do with kites. Let's say a guy comes to rent kite equipment,
Yeah.
and I explain them, look, don't go there, do this, go slowly at the beginning, whatever.
Mm,
And this all went in here and out here because I'm like, yeah, I know how to ride the quad. So I
yeah.
went up the hill full power, and after 30 seconds, I didn't see that the dune went like down and up again. So I jumped into a hill and I broke both of my arms on the first day in Australia. Yeah.
And that was actually wait, you said 30 seconds after renting the quad. So like once you started
Yeah.
right instantly.
Yeah. I maybe it was 40 seconds after riding the quad. I went full power up the hill. My friend was, for him, it was the first day riding a quad. So he was taking it tranquilo, slowly.
Yeah.
And me, yeah, full power, nothing.
Yeah.
I went up and I landed and I could feel. So I landed on my handlebars and flipped over. And
So what actually broke
I
your
knew.
hands? The sand, the handlebars?
No, the handlebar broke the hands. And I knew immediately because I broke quite a few of my bones, like shinbo, collarbone, elbow, my wrists a few times. And
Yeah.
I knew that I was 99% sure that something is broken. And I landed and I sit there and I see the guy coming with his other quad towards me. And I knew I'm so fucking stupid. Like he explained me and I just didn't listen and I went full power. And I think I was looking forward to go to Australia for I was teaching snowboarding from 2005 to 2010 in one place in Austria, where
Yeah.
I taught 80%, or let's say 60% Australians. And I had a lot of Australian friends. And I always looked forward to go to Australia. So I could finally go to Australia. And on the first day, I broke both my hands. Um, and I went there for kite surfing in a caravan. Of course, my whole trip got like I've been in Perth. After 3 days, I left Perth and I went to Sydney. And after 6 days in total in Australia, I flew back to Austria to recover. So the whole trip was yeah, wasted. It was a lot of money. Just the caravan, the camper van was over $4,000 for the whole month. What I didn't get back, of course. My friend stayed still 2 more weeks longer, and so that was like I learned I should not go full power directly. Go a little bit slower at the beginning and step it up and maybe listen to people who are there every single day and know the place. And yeah,
How long did it take for the hands to heal?
it's still not 100% recovered.
Okay. It's still,
So I still have some problems. I can't bend my middle finger in. I
yeah.
can't do a shaka anymore like this, and I can't bend my right arm more than this. So it's almost 2 years now. I
What about
went
your
then
other wrist? Is the other one bent?
the other one I can bend. Yeah, the other one okay. Because I broke this hand. I broke something in here bone, and the other
Yeah.
one was the wrist here. Yeah. So it was not crazy bad. I partied at the same night still.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but of course, I had a lot of pain, and it was just I was so sad that my whole Australia trip. I didn't even touch the ocean, the water in Australia. Uh,
And that was the only
and
time you
I have
went.
no idea. That's the only time I went. Australia is really expensive. 99% sure I will go one day back there, but who knows when.
Do you feel like there's something different about Australia when you were there? Or I know you're only there for a couple of days, but does it feel like there's something in the air that's different? Does it feel like a completely different environment and culture? Or is it just like any
Um,
other European country? Or
no, it's definitely different. Unfortunately, I think I haven't really experienced real Australia
yeah,
because I spent like 3 days um, almost at the same place in the camper van, and then 3 days with a friend in Sydney, showed me around and this.
you
But
saw the opera house? Was it the opera house
yeah,
on the
like
river
I
around the?
passed by. It was super foggy and rainy, so I
Uh,
have a picture from it, but it sucked. Yeah, and it's super pricey, Australia. That's crazy. But I know because I lived with many Australians and I
yeah,
taught so many Australians. They have definitely a completely different culture, and I think I would love to live in Australia, and people are amazing there, super friendly, super stoked on life. I had my best experience with Australians and also South Africans doing like snowboard lessons. This was the best days in
yeah,
my life because I can give you one point like so I taught a lot of Australians how to snowboard, but experienced riders. So we went free riding, and after every single day, they told me like they hugged me and they said, "Look, that was the best day in my life. This day was amazing. You are the coolest dude on earth, and whatever." I've never heard something like this from a German or from one. So like we had Germans with us at the same tour, and they've been like, "Yeah, that
yeah.
was
That's
yeah, it
good.
was nice. Yeah, well, super.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wunderbar.
can't wait for tomorrow." And really, the other guys, like I went in the evening to the bar and I
Yeah,
walked in, and there've been 15 people knowing everything about me, knowing everything what we did today, because these guys told it to everyone that I'm the coolest dude and I'm the best snowboarder, and I showed them so many tricks, and um, I I've never experienced something like this. Um, like
Yeah, they're all pretty
really,
like stoked on life, those guys.
completely, and I love it. And what I experienced, they work hard for like a week or two, and then they have a week or two off, and they just chill, and they love drinking, partying, and camping and surfing. Yeah, and that's a little bit what I love as well. Yeah, I work hard and then I play hard. Yeah, and so I think I'm a little bit similar, and I'm from Australia, so it sounds already like it. So
It's already close. It's almost the
it's
same. I
exactly
didn't even know there's
it's
a
the same.
difference.
Yeah, no, not much. We have mountains, they have kangaroos, so almost the
Did you
same,
see
huh?
kangaroos or no?
Yeah, I've seen. I even have pictures where I have both of my casts. No, it's not even true. I had one cast, and the second one they wanted to cast me, but I
Yeah.
said no thanks because two
Yeah, you need
casts.
one hand.
Mm, especially
Yeah.
in a small camper van already it's
Yeah.
hard to go to toilet and stuff like this, and then
Yeah.
with two cars it's even harder. So I've seen kangaroos, but unfortunately not really outside, so we went to like a park where we've seen
Uh,
them.
I
But my
forgot
friends
they. I forgot how many kangaroos there are. I don't know if 55 million is right, but it's a lot of kangaroos there.
there are definitely a lot, probably more than humans, huh? Like I don't know,
Exactly.
like
How many kangaroos? Sorry, not. Oh, there were 24 million residents. Oh, okay, there were 24 million residents in Australia in 2016 and 44 million kangaroos at the last count in 2015. And I think
who
it even changed. Oh yeah, and another one here.
who
Uh,
who
50 million.
who counted this 50 million kangaroos?
The Australians on their 2 weeks off.
Okay, yeah,
They have an
okay,
app and they just click
yeah,
new one, new one. Wait, is that the same one? Screw it, new one.
yeah, no, yeah, but it's definitely a really cool country. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention before that I've been to Australia, but yeah,
Yeah.
because I've been just a few days, I didn't mention it, and I've been definitely to quite a few other countries what I didn't mention, but
Did you ever do like
it's
Paris or any of these things, or you never did those? So you never did
no,
that European tourism thing.
no, I went to London once, 3.5 days with a friend of mine.
Yeah,
That's the only like city tour, and I'm not a city person. I don't really
yeah,
like cities, the traffic, the like. I stayed outside of London. I met someone in Austria, and I went there and I stayed
yeah,
with her. And just to go into London, we had to take the train and like 1 hour long, but it was really close, but still it
yeah.
took 1 hour. That's not my kind of
No, it's a whole different
style. Huh?
lifestyle. Like it's really
Yeah,
different. And then
completely. And
for
that's why I'm
me,
not like I don't want to like so many people they fly to Madrid and spend a few days in Madrid. They go to Venice and Rome and Paris and whatever.
yeah,
Um, I prefer to spend my money to go
on
somewhere.
like an experience or something.
Yeah, something like
Yeah, because it's like it's a lot of the same, you know. All you do is like you go somewhere to sit down, like in a city, let's say. You go somewhere to sit down, to eat something, to then go
yeah.
somewhere
Most
else to
people
sit down, to eat something, to then
exactly.
drink something, to then go partying
Shopping,
and shopping
eating and partying. That's pretty much it. What you
yeah
do in this
and seeing stuff while you go
this
shopping and while you go eating and while you go
exactly
partying.
exactly. Yeah.
So it's really, yeah, like, and then when you, let's say you do that, or you can go spend the same amount of money and go ride the best waves in the world, or
Exactly.
go see
And
some
that's what I
kangaroos
say
fight each
always.
other.
Like exactly. And this is also a thing what I've been, especially when I've been a bit younger and I had less money. Not that I have now much money, but even less
Yeah.
than now, what is possible. So for me, it was like if I had, let's say, 4,000 euros, I
Yeah.
knew, okay, with 4,000 euros, that's like $4,500. I can go 2 months somewhere and kite surf.
Yeah.
If I have 1,500 bucks, I can go 2 weeks somewhere. So all my money I had, I I had it pretty much in my mind. Okay, I can
In
spend
regards
this
to
much
trips.
trips without working and just doing what I love. exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, no, but it's a
And
good way.
I have to say I'm still thinking a little bit in this, and I have to calculate how much money I need to retire and just do. Um,
Yeah, when you have that number, you gotta let me know. I'm working. I'm
yeah,
working on that number as well. I'm trying to think of it.
yeah,
I'm like, how much do I actually need? Because everyone always
yeah.
gets caught up in like, I need $1 million. I need 5 million. I'm like, do you actually need? Is it more? Is it
Ah,
less?
it's always anyway. What do you need? I know people. I just talked with one person today who lives since a German guy who lives since 25 years in the DR. How much money he spends a month and how much he needs and how much he like with $800 he lives like a king here. He
Yeah,
says a month. And then I talk with other people and they need $4,000 a month.
yeah,
So what do you really need? And what do you want
yeah.
from what kind of life do you want?
No, well, also like in the end, we're all living, whether you're living on 400 or 800
Oh,
or
sure, sure,
1,500.
of course,
But
but could
yeah,
you have
like
to see
depends on
for
your standard.
yourself? Could you imagine yourself living for with $500 a month, or do you want to work hard that you can afford yourself like a decent place and um,
I understand like what you're saying, like those extra luxuries, but even
yeah.
I don't talk about it much, but I've actually been stripping myself away from most things. Even though here I'm sitting in a
Oh,
living room, generally I don't sleep with air conditioning. I don't use any of these like luxuries that most people might use, and
I
no
know, I
TV, none
know.
of these things.
You live pretty cheap. You live
Yeah,
behind
I
your
don't
office
because in
with
the
your
end you don't need
parents, and
much, right? Like what's I
no,
find is
sure,
more important is like
sure.
it's nice to have certain things like some toys or friends that have the toys because then with those toys you can do certain things, right? You can go on some experiences, you can go on some trips. But like spending just to spend, I haven't been a big fan on. And maybe it's been because like I know where it comes from. It's like there's some people that have a credit card that is from someone else's name and they're
Oh,
not
yes,
spending
yes.
their own money.
Yeah,
So they don't care. They have no reference. But when I'm like,
yeah.
$20 is $20, $100 is $100, or 1,000 is 1,000, and you know what you can do with that money, like 500 here or
The
500 here can do two different things.
the problem what I have, or like for me, and this, if
Yeah.
you have a certain standard,
Yeah.
and you reach something, you don't want to go lower again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You always want to top it.
Sure.
So that's the only problem. That's why I know in my future I need like more than now, because at one point I want to have a higher standard.
I get you, but I also like the other side of like that. I think it's like that animal. I like that animal sort of side of like how much of a savage can you become? How much can you detach yourself from those normal things? Even though you're right, like what you're saying with the real estate in the beginning. If you have dreadlocks and you're trying to sell something, you can do it, but now you're just adding difficulty to the whole situation.
Sure,
You're
sure,
adding
sure,
a
sure, sure.
barrier that's going to make it harder. It's like
Exactly,
you could
exactly.
probably go in life without brushing your teeth or taking a shower,
Oh,
but now
sure.
everything will get progressively more difficult.
Yeah,
They might not let you
oh,
in the supermarket when there's other people around, like, oh crap, he's here,
yeah,
guys. It's a dreadlock guy.
exactly,
Smells like a
exactly.
trash can.
Yeah,
But, so
yeah,
that's it. But on the small thing, I think like if you're able to at least because there's some people that mentally can't do the reverse. They can't handle it. Maybe they have like, let's say the whole building you're in blows up.
mm,
Some people might just like end it. They'll be like, I can't start again. I can't do this, and they
sure,
attach
sure,
themselves
sure,
to that. But there's some
sure,
people
of
that
course.
they might have it and they don't care. They're like, yeah, sure, I
No,
live in
no.
this $5 million villa,
Oh,
but it's no big deal. I could also live in a
oh,
shack and
but
it'll be the same thing.
and there is a lot of people what I see and there's who are doing how do they call it, downsizing and stuff
Yeah,
like this.
downsizing.
They have a huge villa in this and sell it and start living in a tiny house and stuff like this, and say they really just I saw a reportage about a guy last time. He owns 50 items in total, 50.
Yeah.
When I look on my table now in front of me, probably they are lying around 40 items,
Yeah.
different things. So what is insane? I think he had 3 T-shirts and 2 pants, all of the same color in this.
Yeah.
But he says he doesn't need more. But he was living different before as well.
Yeah.
So some people can do this. I don't know if I would like to do this.
Yeah.
But everyone how he wants it, and you don't need a super huge villa and a luxury car and whatever. But of course, if you have the chance and if you can afford some certain amount of luxury, for everyone else, it's
Yeah.
like for everyone in this luxury is different. For some people, luxury is to have a bicycle. For other one is luxury to have a private jet.
Yeah.
So if you can afford and if it makes you happy, you should do it. If not, you don't need to.
Yeah. No, and also I think it's also understanding what sacrifices, what everything costs too, right? There's some people that they say they want a jet, but they're not willing to do what it takes to actually have a jet and maintain a jet.
Sure.
So that's
Sure.
like a little difference there. But I think, Marcel, with all this being said, like you said, what's next for yourself? There's no more dreadlocks coming, so we pretty much cleared that up, at least for now. Or is there going to be another round of dreadlocks in your life?
Maybe when I'm 60, then again.
You go back to it, just bring it back.
Yeah, sure. From 13
Bring it full
to
circle.
30. Yeah, let's see.
Born, no dreads, gets dreads, cuts dreads, gets dreads again, and then cuts them again, and then just ends it. Done.
Yeah,
And then
perfect.
Marcel's
Sounds good.
like,
But I think if I get dreads again, I start smoking weed as well and
oh, okay.
living it full time.
You're
like
gonna
full,
go to you're gonna do the full jump.
Yeah, full job.
You have to type in common stereotypes of dreadlock,
Oh, I know these common
and
stereotypes
then you
because
just have to live it
I
all.
I heard these stereotypes every single day in my life when people came to me like, what, you're not smoking, but you have dreads, and what, you're not stoned, and what, you're not meditating and wearing secondhand clothes and not showering and be hairy and whatever. Yeah. So I know these
I haven't heard
stereotypes.
the meditating one. That's a new one.
Oh yeah, and like
You don't meditate.
yeah, and listening and going to, yeah, doesn't matter.
Nah, I guess it's stereotypes are hilarious, because they do have some truths behind it, but also
sure,
when you
sure,
don't live
definitely,
them, it's just funny to see how people believe them.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
Well, Marcel, I think it's pretty much come to a wrap almost. I don't know if there's
that's
anything you want to
great.
add. You plugged in already a
was-
couple businesses. I don't know if there's anything else that you need to plug in, some wwws.
That was one of the shortest talks I ever had with you, because normally they take much longer.
Yeah.
But go on my website if you come to Dominican Republic and want to buy some real estate. Don't cut
Are you
this
actually
out
going to plug
now,
something in right now?
No.
No, you can plug it in. It's all good. If someone made it this far, they deserve to know what you do.
Anyway, no one makes it this far, and if, get a life.
Comment down below. That's what I'm going to say.
Cabaretrealestate.com.
Oh, you're serious. You're doing it. You're putting it all in. Okay, I got you.
Of course. Now, once this got 1 million views. Yeah. So
Cabaret. Is there a space in that or no?
No.
All one word?
All one word.
That's actually a good link. That's a good URL. Cabaret Real Estate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta put an E in there. State.com.
The office is at Ocean One, so close middle of Cabarete.
Just put that link in there for him.
Exactly.
You can't read my handwriting, but it's there.
It looks like mine. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
No, perfect. But I can everyone advise, go to Zanzibar once, and definitely go to Dominican Republic once, if someone is still listening to this.
Why
Because
Zanzibar? Is that a serious thing? Is
Zanzibar
it
is
worth it?
super beautiful, especially if you have family and stuff and want to just relax, have a beach holiday, do your honeymoon or whatever. It's amazing, the colors, the beach and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And Dominican Republic, I can just recommend it for everyone. And if you're planning on living, leaving the cold Europe and the busy life and whatever, and you're looking for the right place, come here and check it out because, yeah, for me it's best place so far, and I love it here.
And just with that being said, if you're gonna have a honeymoon, are you gonna have it in Zanzibar?
Um, I will never have a honeymoon, so
Oh,
that's not an option. Yeah, yeah.
never say never, Marcel. Someone might turn you
That's
around.
that's true. Never. If you ask me to marry you, maybe I would do, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I
I'll
think
only do it if there's a lot of free trips for me and I don't have to do anything
yeah,
weird.
exactly. I know that's
If I don't have to
that's
do
I'm
anything
looking
weird
for.
and there's a lot of free trips, then
Um,
it's okay.
no, but I could definitely, if I would go on honeymoon, why not Zanzibar? But I spent so much time already in Zanzibar, so I would probably go and check out something
Australia.
different. Yeah, because that's I recommend also, guys, go to Australia and do a quad ride in the dunes
Yeah.
because
Can you
that's really
recommend the guy's
nice.
business? Does he have a, do you remember what,
Like
he has
this
a good
guy,
instructor. It's
you
just
know
you're a
that
bad student.
um, I didn't sign any liability and like a waiver or nothing.
Yeah.
So, but because I was stupid, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. But if this happens in the US or something, and the
Oh,
guy, he
done.
would sue him like he would be paying his whole life. But I'm like, yeah, I can't sue a person who tells me something not to do and I do it stupid. Huh? So, but I
So what did
think
he say? Did he just like normal day for him? He's like, you're just another one of those guys, like no big deal.
ah,
He's like, oh,
I,
mate, I don't know the Australian accent is. He's like, you done it, man.
yeah, mate. No, I don't know. I don't know if this was normal for him. I hope not for him. But I'm sure he's seen stuff like this, the same like I see with kiting. Stupid people like me. Yeah.
Did he just start you off
So
at the hill where that is? Like you just drove a straight line right into it?
yeah, straight line. I did not turn the steering wheel even once. Straight line up the hill
You
and
should maybe
jump
put the
and
angle a little bit different of the starting point. Like, hey guys, if you go this way, you're gonna go into this cliff. But if you go
yeah,
this way, it's just
yeah.
flat. So
No, but yeah, I would not say it's his fault.
were you
So,
standing
but
on the quad, like two
no, no,
legs
no,
up, like you're just like, or you're sitting just normal?
sitting. Yeah. But I would recommend him maybe getting some waiver and stuff because if there are other people, he could get in trouble. So
But was it an actual business?
yeah, yeah, it was really in. Wow, I don't even remember the place. It was like around 1.5 hours away from Perth. I would have
Yeah.
to check it on my phone where it was. Wow,
Check his
it's a kite.
TripAdvisor reviews just for fun.
It's a kite spot. No, it's a kite spot and windsurf spot. But it was early, not windy.
Yeah.
We went, and the day before when we just arrived, we went sandboarding there. So I was lucky that I didn't break myself something with sandboarding
Yeah.
because and on the next day the guy was there with like 4 or 5 quads for rent. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's a good idea. Huh? So yeah, that's how it is.
Just take a photo of your hands bent and then be like, I don't know if you put 1 star or 5 star, but be like, if you
Yeah.
remember me, I'm doing better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe
Um,
yeah. No, good. It's
all
time
right.
for me to go to bed because tomorrow is
Oh
another
yeah.
day of work and play afterwards, hopefully.
Yeah. No, and for me, I got to run the staircases in Sasua at 7 in the morning. So
Oof,
yeah,
okay,
it's gonna be tough. But in any
nice.
case,
Good.
Marcel, it was a pleasure. I want to thank
Good
you
talking
for
to you. Yeah.
taking your time out of your evening, your busy evening,
Oh yeah, it's so
and
busy always here. especially after curfew. It's
Exactly.
crazy, yeah.
We've been in curfew.
Well,
People almost have forgotten what it is to live without curfew.
well, I think I have forgotten because since how many months we're in curfew now? 6 almost.
March. Yep,
No,
6
6 months.
months. 6
6
months.
months in curfew. Luckily now 9 p.m. What is amazing already because you can have finally
dark.
dinner out and
Yeah.
see the sunset and stuff. But I remember 5 p.m. curfew.
3 p.m. too.
Yeah. 3 p.m. No, we never had 3 p.m.
I thought 3 p.m. was when we were doing kiting.
You're drinking. No, that was 5 p.m.
On the weekends, 3 p.m.
No, we never had 3 p.m. in Cabarete.
I thought we had 3 p.m. for some reason.
No, we didn't. We always left. We always went kiting at. Wait, Fred is here at 1:00. And,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 1 to 3, and then we're
we
home by
like
5.
we kited till 3:30 or something like this. And but
Yeah.
no, there was no kiting allowed at this time. So there was no.
Yeah,
kiting.
there's no kiting. You're right.
No, we didn't kite. We didn't kite at this time.
We didn't go outside.
Yeah.
We behaved.
No. Yeah, exactly. Just to the doctor I went sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. When I had a cough.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, well, okay, I forget. For some reason, I thought 3 because I was always raging that I saw the
No.
sunset and I couldn't leave my house. I'm like, I can't even. I'm just looking at the sun going down, and you're
Yeah, but the
sunny when you had
sunset
to be
was
home.
at 7 at this time, and it was 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. was really hard. 7 p.m. is still pretty hard. What we have still on the weekends. But
Yeah.
9 p.m. I have to say I don't really mind because I can kite the whole day, have my
Go out and
dinner,
eat,
enjoy the
yeah.
sunset, and then go home and
It's perfect.
that's it. Yeah,
Well, hopefully it stays that way or it gets better.
I hope so.
And with that, then Marcel, we keep in touch. Hopefully to see you winging, all of us,
Perfect.
because I haven't seen you guys winging yet. Only the video. I saw you only one time in the beginning, but
that's true. Oh yeah, on my first day. Great.
Exactly.
No, for sure. Yeah, soon. Great.
All right.
Have a nice evening. Yeah.
Just remember that www.cabaretrealestate.com. Marcel.
Exactly. Really important. That
Really
should
important.
be like your, how do you call it? Landing page anyway.
That should be the title of the video too, I think.
Oh yeah.
And if you actually made it this far, just please send me a message or something, just because I'll be interested to see who made it this far.
If you're female, especially, send a message.
Okay.
Wait, my Instagram, Marcel Glaser with 3 dots in between, I think, Glaser. But just type in Marcel Glaser, you find it.
Where's the dots?
No,
After
3 underline.
Underscores, yeah.
At the
underscores
end? In between. No, in between my names. Marcel underscore like 3 times and then Glaser.
And why is there 3 and not 2 or 1?
I think everything else
1, 2 was taken.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that a common last name, Glacier?
I don't think so. I have no idea really.
You just have a lot of fans.
I think people try to copy me and this.
Yeah, so they just took every alternative.
No, I had a different name before, and I just changed it like 2-3 years ago or something. And
after you cut your dreads, you changed everything.
Exactly, I changed everything.
You went from 6 spaces to 3 because your hair was shorter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, Marcel, have a good night, man. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And let me see if this ends.
No, hopefully it ends.
Hopefully. Peace out, man. Bye.
Bye.